Move on to Ms. Rose Brown. Thank you for being here tonight, and we want to go ahead and give you an opportunity to speak. We know this is a difficult time for you. I appreciate you being here tonight, and then if there's any other folks that we need to hear from after that, we'll move in according to your order. So you have 5 minutes to speak tonight, and let me first of all tell you I'm so sorry for your loss. I do appreciate your service to our community and our schools, and certainly know that you're engaged, and your husband was a great part of our community. So, and you and I have had some conversations on the phone and some exchanges, and I just ask you to be mindful of a current investigation so we don't do anything that may harm the case. But certainly we'll hear from you at this time. If you don't mind speaking into that microphone, because sometimes it can be a little bit hard, and you're rather tall as well. So that's a good thing. So I want you to speak in that microphone so everybody at home can hear you as well.
Good evening.
Good
evening, Mayor Miller. I also want to recognize the Macon-Bibb County Board of Commissioners Office and Sheriff David Davis, as well as the Macon-Bibb County community. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Sylvia Rose Brown, and I have with me Pamela Brown, Matt's mother. I'm here to speak to you on behalf of my husband, Brian Matthew Brown. Matt was not only a wonderful husband, he was the son of Pam and Larry Brown and the brother of Jason Brown. He was also a friend to many, and he loved his Lock Choppy Landing community, so much so that he gave his life for them. He was a soft-spoken yet extremely hard-working man and business owner in Macon-Bibb County. When you look at this picture of my husband, I want you to see that there's a frame around it. However, the image has been altered forever. Hebrews chapter 11:3 states that by faith, we understand that the words were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which are visible. On November the 26th, my life changed forever. I never thought I'd be a widow at 48 years old. Each day I have to muster the strength to drive past a crime scene outside my home in Lock Choppy Landing. Instead of the beautiful image of our lives together, I picture my loving husband of 4 years laying bleeding on the pavement, covered in a sheet. That horrific image is burned in my mind, and it replays constantly. I'm able to stand here today because I know there's stability in looking to the Lord to provide that frame of support and comfort. Senseless crime has become all too familiar here in Macon. Like many of you, my husband was vocal about wanting to see change here in our community. Back in January 2023, his business was robbed by thieves that stole thousands of dollars worth of equipment. This continued not only with his business, but several businesses in the North Macon area off of Gateway who've been victimized by crime. These criminals are very savvy and organized. Let me be clear, this is not an attack on our officers. I am extremely appreciative of the work that they do. I can't imagine walking in their shoes every day, and they are to be commended for the heroic work that they do. These evildoers know that they outnumber our wonderful officers. The criminals are organized, and they have one mission, and that is to terrorize our community. Matt and the people in the North Macon area have reached out to law enforcement multiple times, reporting suspects with no avail, which I am sure is documented on 911 calls. I even used his phone to report a female suspect that came back this next day wearing the same clothes that she used to rob a small business owner. Right now, as my world is falling apart, I seek solace and trust in God's plan. He provides my frame or structure. I feel that God has given me a new purpose and perspective. Why am I here? I am here because senseless crime has become all too familiar here in Macon. Perhaps you, like my husband and I, thought we would never be a victim of a horrendous crime. I am here to implore this group for assistance in putting together a frame to protect our community. This frame will consist of additional officers and real-time support for victims. First, we must open our eyes regarding the crime here in Macon. Crime is not someone else's problem. We have to see the problem, name it, and own the problem to truly develop solutions to prevent these crimes. So this means every entity from the mayor's office, the commissioners, and the sheriff's department must come together not to blame one another, but to effectively develop solutions for these issues. Our neighborhood cameras catch a variety of activity from our day-to-day lives, including everything from people walking their dogs to the sanitation workers coming to empty our trash. However, it is rare to see the presence of police officers patrolling these areas, even since this horrible crime occurred. Where is the police presence? This is unacceptable. Currently, we have an officer shortage of at least 200 plus officers. Why is that? Why are we not offering incentives to the people who are keeping us safe? If our focus is on beautifying Macon, we are luring people into a false sense of security. Building an amphitheater, pickleball courts, lofts, restaurants downtown, and spending millions of dollars to acquire real estate in the downtown area isn't going to solve the crime problem. It will only exacerbate the problem. The criminals will go wherever they see an opportunity to victimize people. If we don't address this problem, many more lives will be stolen from us. Never think that it can't be your husband, your son, or your friend. The second issue is the lack of support for the families of violent crimes. The night of my husband's murder, I sat on a curb in shock as firefighters washed away his blood. No one was there to support me during this crisis. We need people to show compassion and empathy. Why wasn't a chaplain there or a grief counselor there? I had to pray and console his parents when I was in no capacity to do so myself. It was as if I was victimized twice. In conclusion, I'm asking that Macon-Bibb County re-examine their current plan regarding crime and together establish a framework of support focused on hiring additional staff, including officers and on-site counselors. We must have a sense of urgency and move from complacency to vigilance to protect and serve all of the communities encompassing Macon-Bibb County. My husband became very frustrated with the broken system when he felt like he was being victimized over and over. That is why he finally took a stand against the Goliath of the criminals, and he lost his life. I can't bring my husband back, but you have a duty to the people that live here to protect them. We shouldn't have to feel like we have to step up and take on the responsibility of protecting ourselves and our community. We are not officers, and as taxpayers, it is your job to ensure that people are hired to protect us. It is my prayer that Brian Matthew Brown is the last citizen to be gunned down outside of his door. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Rose Brown, for coming tonight and having the courage to speak, and we appreciate you being here. Yes, ma'am. And certainly we would like to have some further conversations on some things we're doing that you may not be aware of, but other things that you may be able to help with yourself. So thank you very much for that. I think